I think I must say that I am actually, while thinking about this, rather surprised that it has actually taken thus far for Africa and China to reach to the stage in which we are at the moment when it comes to questions of particular of trade and, if you like, economic development. Because historically, the foundation is actually rather solid. As far back as about 15 to possibly 18 years, but about 15 or so years ago, I was in a major SADC nation state, and I was having a conversation with a senior Southern African diplomat, and he was saying that, look, China-Africa trade and relations is the way, and up to that time, some of these things were possibly merely nuances, and in some cases rather new. But that said, I think, from the point of view which has just been raised by my colleague from down south, many of those are actually centrally the issue that we are 54, 55 nation states, substantially fragmented. Our economies are not as interdependent as they should be on themselves. So therefore, developments around infrastructure are major challenges. Developments in terms of trade within our own selves are huge contradictions. But generally, as a continent, the goodwill is there. The road leading to my own residence down hardly 50 meters away from here, the supervisor of that project is without prejudice of a Chinese identity and national, almost certainly. It is the case that also that Africa actually has huge goodwill than I think the West initially thought until very recently, as far as China is concerned. Because I want to politicize this a little bit. That China was around at the time of the Cold War. China was around at the time when African countries were seeking, particularly Southern Africa and the rest of the seeking, particularly Southern Africa, seeking for their case for liberation. And China was around, and China attempted this very specific project with Tanzania. I'm not quite sure, the Tanzam Rail, I'm not quite sure why Africa did not seize this, nor did China do it the other way around. But actually, as already been suggested, now the new situation is, if you see the opportunities for cobalt in Congo and many other hungry materials which China must be looking into, Africa has simply woken up to find a decent alternative to, if you like, the traditional Washington consensus. So how this is managed both politically, socially, and, if you like, economically, is the challenge, as it were. But I think the future is very interesting.